You've heard his songs on the radio, Living performed by Dirk Bentley and Remember You Young sung by Thomas Rhett, just to name a few. But have you heard the story of the man behind the music? Nashville songwriter and music publisher Ashley Gorley is the reigning ASCAP Country Songwriter of the Year. He's written 51 #1 singles and has had more than 300 songs recorded by artists such as Luke Bryan, Carrie Underwood, Florida Georgia Line, Blake Shelton, Brad Paisley, Jason Aldean, Darius Rucker, and Thomas Rhett. Our media student investigators recently had the opportunity to visit Mr. Gorley's studio, where countless versions of these classic country songs were created by this champion for the songwriting community.
Yeah, so TapeRoom Music is my company I started about 7 or 8 years ago. I always knew I wanted to do that even when I was writing early on. So a publisher is the person that owns the copyright of the song, that helps get it licensed, that actually pitch the song around to different artists. Not till I moved to Nashville did I even know how you could make a living at it once I went to Belmont. But before then, just all influences, my friends, what they listened to, just growing up as a music lover. I just knew that I wanted to do something in the music business. I didn't really know what. I didn't know where the songs came from. I thought it was magic, and I wanted to figure out how they got, to my ears. So my days all look different. I kind of crave variety. I co-write with a producer and an artist and me, and it's kind of my job to supply a lot of the melody, lyric ideas, things like that. So it starts before I even get there, right? So the night before, the week before, maybe the year before, I'm collecting ideas and thoughts, little voice memos, melodies, maybe instrumental licks. So the key to a great song and great songwriters are people that won't judge you when you say terrible things. Just like any relationship, they don't judge you when you say something stupid because they know there's something good in there somewhere if they hang out long enough. The creative component that we try to excel in is like artist development. We may sign an artist writer and develop that person as a writer and as a singer too, and then go land them a record deal if that's what the end goal is, or try to get them to have success on the radio, on tour, all that kind of stuff.
How do y'all protect artists' intellectual and creative property?
Right, well we help them register their copyrights, right? So the publisher is the one that usually does that for them. When you start out, like if you were writing songs at school, I would tell you a way to register them through the Library of Congress or whatever. It's where you could self-register your copyrights. Once you kind of get things going and you have a publishing deal and you get some heat going as a writer, then somebody like me or like the publisher takes care of that for you.
How does it feel to hear you and or TapeRoom's production of a song and hear the song on the radio? Finally hear it driving down the road, you wrote it, it's out there.
Yeah, I mean that's the goal, right? So it's still amazing. We've been fortunate to have a lot of songs on the radio that either I wrote or my writers wrote. I really get a kick out of helping writers we sign get to that success for the first time. I probably even like that better than when I have my own songs out. Just seeing that and seeing wow, we got there, we made it, or whatever, and seeing how it can affect and change his life is probably the most rewarding thing.
What advice would you give somebody who wants to pursue music as their profession?
Yeah, I get asked about people pursuing music as a career a lot because a lot of people like music. So it's a natural thought for a kid just like me to be like, hey, I love music, I want to do something in music. And then eventually you got to narrow that down, So when somebody tells me they want to sing, play, dance, sell out stadiums, write songs, produce it, publish it, and be the head of the record label, I'm like, okay, what do you want to do the most? At some point, you got to move to Nashville or LA or Atlanta or New York or Toronto or wherever you want to go, a music town, and start to just be around the different environments and see what you gravitate towards. I think hard work is underrated because music seems like a creative thing where this something just happens out of nowhere, and it's hard for people to understand that. I've had a lot of songs. I've been fortunate to have successful songs, but I wrote songs every day for 7 years after I got out of college with a publishing deal without having a hit at all. So when somebody's like, man, I've been writing like crazy, I've been writing for a long time, I really feel like I got something. I've written 5 songs. I'm like, wow, that's not very many songs, hey, let's shooting basketball shots or something. You got to shoot 1 million just to get good at making some, and they still all don't go in. So as hard as it is, I always tell people it seems impossible, but I also moved to Tennessee. I didn't know anybody in the whole state and didn't have any idea how to do any of this stuff, and just figured it out through years of interning, studying it, and just loving it and chasing it.
An amazing story and an amazing man. Currently, Mr. Gorley owns his own music publishing company, TapeRoom Music, allowing him to employ dozens of local songwriters who have achieved over 30 top 10 singles, 24 of which reached #1, including Good As You, Up Down, and the current #1 song, This Week and Next, One of Them Girls. And now an advocate for other young songwriters, Mr. Gorley is also giving back to his community by standing in front of Congress to present the Music Modernization Act, which aims to give songwriters a new rate standard for digital mechanical royalties, which should lead to better streaming royalty rates. Thank you, Mr. Gorley. We look forward to hearing more classic hits in the near future. Until next time, I'm Brianne. Have a good day, everyone.